My beloved brothers and sisters, have you ever walked into your home and felt something you can't explain? Everything looks normal. The furniture is there, the lights are on, the family is around. But your heart whispers, something is missing. The conversations feel dry. The rooms feel heavy. The warmth you once felt is no longer there. It's as if the entire home has become silent on the inside. And you wonder, where did the barakah go? Why does my home feel so empty even when nothing is wrong? Today, I want to share with you one verse, a verse that scholars say invites mercy, peace and barakah back into a home, even if that home has felt lifeless for months, even years. If you've been longing for calm, for unity, for warmth to return, then stay with me until the last second, because this one verse might be the beginning of a completely new atmosphere in your home. When a home looks full but feels empty. My beloved brothers and sisters, there are moments in life when a person sits inside their own home, the very place that should feel like safety, comfort and belonging. Yet something inside whispers that the peace has quietly slipped away. You look around and everything seems fine. The children's laughter echoes. The food is on the table, the carpets are clean, and the doors are locked. But the heart still feels a strange emptiness, as if a light that once guided the home has grown dim without anyone noticing. Sometimes the emptiness shows up in the little things, a conversation that turns into an argument for no reason, a silence at the dinner table that used to be filled with warmth, a heaviness in the air that doesn't match the smiles on people's faces, or a tiredness in the soul even after a long night's sleep. And at times it's not the house that is empty, it is the hearts living inside it that have become tired, anxious or uncertain. We carry worries from outside, we bring stress from work, we allow our fears to enter with us, and slowly the home that once healed us begins to feel like another place of pressure. But the truth, my brothers and sisters, is this: a home loses its barakah not because of walls or furniture or money. It loses its barakah when the remembrance of Allah fades, when gratitude becomes rare, and when the heart becomes too busy to look up and whisper, Ya Allah, keep peace inside these walls. Every home goes through these seasons of dryness. Even the most loving families experience moments where the atmosphere feels distant, where the heart longs for something deeper, something real, something that fills the soul the way nothing else can. And it is in those moments of quiet emptiness that Allah opens the door to a powerful reminder that barakah is not found in what we buy. Barakah is found in what we bring back into our hearts. The verse that reopens the doors of barakah. My beloved brothers and sisters, just when a person begins to feel that their home has lost its warmth, just when the silence becomes heavier than words, Allah, in His infinite mercy, directs the heart to a verse that carries the power to restore tranquility, comfort and spiritual richness. It is a verse found in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 152, a verse so simple to recite, yet so profound in meaning that scholars say it revives the atmosphere of any home where it is remembered sincerely. Allah says, remember me and I will remember you. Be grateful to me and do not be ungrateful. Surah Al-Baqarah 2 to 152. This is not just a verse, it is a divine promise, a direct message from the Lord of the worlds to every household that feels empty, every heart that feels disconnected, and every soul that feels thirsty for peace. Allah is telling you and me, if you bring my remembrance into your home, I will fill your home with my remembrance. What greater mercy could we ask for than to have the Creator Himself mention us? Imagine the effect of this promise. The one who holds all barakah says, say my name and I will say yours. Remember me for a moment and I will bless you in ways unseen. Show gratitude and I will open doors that you did not even know existed. My brothers and sisters, this verse is a key that unlocks the doors of barakah, a key that softens hearts, a key that removes heaviness from a home, even when nothing outwardly has changed. Some households struggle not because of lack of wealth, but because the hearts inside have forgotten to pause and remember Allah. And when dhikr disappears, light disappears. When gratitude fades, barakah fades. And when barakah fades, homes begin to feel spiritually hollow, no matter how beautiful they look from the outside. But Allah, with one verse, gave us a simple way to restore everything we thought we had lost. A verse that invites light back into darkness, warmth back into coldness, and blessings back into a home that has felt empty for too long. Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 152, is not only guidance, it is a lifeline. A reminder that no matter how far the home has drifted, even one moment of sincere remembrance can bring it back to life. How this verse restores a home from the inside out. My beloved brothers and sisters, when Allah says, remember me and I will remember you, be grateful to me and do not be ungrateful. This is not simply a phrase to read and move on. It is an entire spiritual system designed to transform the atmosphere of a home from the inside out. It is a reminder that peace does not begin with decorations, income, or new furniture. It begins with the state of the heart, and the condition of the heart affects the condition of the home. Every home that feels empty, heavy, tense, or disconnected is experiencing something much deeper than what the eye can see. It is experiencing a shortage of remembrance, a shortage of gratitude, a shortage of turning the heart back towards the one who places barakah wherever He wills. When Allah says, remember me, I will remember you, He is inviting us to a relationship that fills the soul with air after it has been suffocating in silence. Imagine, my brothers and sisters, a home where arguments had become normal, where smiles became rare, where misunderstandings kept growing, and where everyone felt emotionally tired even if the day was short. Now imagine that same home deciding to bring back the remembrance of Allah, not through loud lectures or long prayers that everyone struggles with, but through simple, gentle, consistent moments of reflection. One person sits for a few minutes and remembers Allah, another expresses gratitude, another whispers a quiet prayer. Slowly, the environment begins to soften. You may not notice it in a single day, but within weeks, something begins to shift. The anger that used to rise quickly now pauses before erupting. The sadness that used to linger all night begins to ease. Conversations that felt empty start to feel meaningful again. Hearts that drifted from each other begin to reconnect, because when Allah is remembered, mercy descends, and wherever mercy settles, relationships heal. This verse teaches us a powerful truth. When the heart remembers its creator, the home regains its purpose. When you bring remembrance into your home, Allah brings tranquility into your home. When you bring gratitude into your life, Allah brings increase into your life. When you remove ingratitude, Allah removes the heaviness that was draining your peace. Many people try to fix their homes by fixing the physical space, changing curtains, repainting walls, buying new appliances, planning trips, or creating schedules. But the truth is that none of these things can repair the inner emptiness. A home is not restored through material solutions, it is restored through spiritual nourishment. The verse from Surah Al-Baqarah is a reminder that real barakah enters when the heart returns to the one who controls every form of peace. My beloved brothers and sisters, when a home becomes dry, it is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that the soul is craving connection with Allah. And when the soul reconnects, the entire household benefits, because every home reflects the spiritual state of the hearts that live inside it. The light of remembrance does not stay confined to the person who remembers. Its warmth spreads across the whole home, touching everyone who steps inside. This is how one verse, one promise from Allah begins to restore everything that felt broken, distant, or empty. It starts as a small seed of remembrance, but with consistency, it becomes a garden of tranquility inside the home. When a home begins to breathe again, my beloved brothers and sisters, when a person begins acting upon the verse, remember me and I will remember you. Be grateful to me and do not be ungrateful. Something extraordinary happens inside the home. Even if the change is not immediately visible to the eye, it is as though the home itself begins to breathe again. The walls that once felt cold start to feel warm. The silence that once felt heavy becomes peaceful. And the corners that once felt abandoned begin to feel alive with a sense of divine presence. This is because the remembrance of Allah does not only affect the heart of the person who remembers, it affects the environment around them. Remembrance carries a spiritual fragrance that settles gently over the house household, whether the residents notice it or not. It brings a softness into the air that is difficult to describe but impossible to ignore. It is a calmness that begins in the heart and spreads outward, touching relationships, easing tensions, and quieting the storms that people were too tired to face. Many families do not realize how quickly negativity can spread in a home when the remembrance of Allah is absent. A single moment of anger, a single word spoken without care, a single day without gratitude, all of these things slowly drain barakah from the atmosphere until the house feels heavy even with laughter inside it. But when a person responds to that emptiness by returning to Allah, it is like opening a window in a room that has been closed for far too long. Fresh air enters, light returns, hope begins to slowly rebuild itself. This verse also teaches us something beautiful. Allah does not ask us for perfection before He gives us barakah. He does not say, fix everything in your home before you remember me. He simply says, remember me. One step from you allows 1,000 steps from Him. One sincere moment of gratitude brings waves of blessings. One soft remembrance at night brings protection for the entire home. Allah's mercy is not limited by the mistakes of the past. It is unlocked by the sincerity of the present. And when Allah remembers a person, problems that once felt overwhelming begin to feel manageable. Burdens that once felt too heavy begin to lighten. Stress that once stole sleep begins to fade. When Allah remembers you, peace comes to you in forms you did not expect, at times you did not imagine, and through doors you did not even know were possible. A home that was once filled with arguments becomes a place where patience grows. A home where people avoided each other becomes a place where hearts soften and conversations become meaningful again. A home that felt spiritually cold becomes a home where dhikr, gratitude and hope are woven into the daily rhythm of life. This transformation does not require loud effort or major lifestyle changes. It begins with the gentle decision to allow Allah back into the center of the home. And when He is placed at the center, everything else slowly returns to its rightful place. Peace returns, love returns, barakah returns, and the home that once felt empty becomes a shelter filled with meaning again. My beloved brothers and sisters, this is the beauty of Allah's promise. When you remember Him even a little, He fills your life with more than you could have asked for. The moment barakah begins to return without you realizing, my beloved brothers and sisters, there comes a moment in every believer's life when they look around and realize that something subtle has changed. The stress that once wrapped itself around the walls of the home begins to loosen. The heaviness that made every day feel burdensome starts to fade. The confusion that clouded the mind begins to lift. These shifts are not dramatic, yet they are unmistakably real. And they happen the moment a home starts responding to Allah's call, remember me and I will remember you. You may not notice barakah entering your home immediately because barakah rarely arrives with noise. It enters quietly, gently, like soft light slowly filling a dark room. It shows itself in the way your heart feels calmer than usual. It appears in a conversation that goes better than expected. It shows up in a meal that stretches farther than usual. It shows up in your time feeling more productive even though your responsibilities remain the same. These are not coincidences. These are signs that Allah has begun to place His care and attention upon your household. Barakah also shows itself in emotional ways. The anger you used to feel so quickly now takes longer to rise. The sadness that settled in your chest begins to soften. The confusion that once overwhelmed you now feels easier to navigate. Even the relationships that felt distant slowly begin reconnecting. Not because people changed overnight, but because Allah softened the spaces between hearts. This verse teaches us that when we create even the smallest space for Allah in our homes, He fills that space with more goodness than we could ever place ourselves. A single moment of sincere remembrance can push away a mountain of heaviness. A single act of gratitude can attract blessings that were written for you but delayed until your heart was ready for them. A single decision to return to Allah can restore peace that was missing for years. My beloved brothers and sisters, barakah does not always come in the form of things you can touch or count. Sometimes it comes in the form of relief after a long period of emotional exhaustion. Sometimes it comes in the form of clarity after confusion. Sometimes it comes in the form of a calm heart even though nothing in your life has physically changed. Sometimes it comes in the form of unexpected ease in matters that once felt impossible. And there are times when Allah protects you from something harmful without you ever knowing. A delay that frustrated you ends up saving you. A closed door prevents a disaster. A disappointment turns into a hidden blessing. These are all forms of barakah, quiet signs that Allah is not just watching over your home, but actively guiding it, protecting it, and filling it with His mercy. The most beautiful part, my brothers and sisters, is that Allah never allows a home that remembers Him to remain empty. He never lets gratitude go unanswered. He never leaves a heart that turns to Him without giving it something better in return. When you remember Him, He fills the home with light. And when He fills the home with light, everything inside begins to heal in its own time, in its own beautiful way. This is the secret behind barakah returning. It does not rush. It does not shout. It arrives slowly, gently, and with wisdom. But when it settles, it transforms the entire atmosphere of your home. When Allah begins to fix what you couldn't fix yourself. My beloved brothers and sisters, there comes a stage in every believer's journey where they finally understand something profound. There are certain problems inside the home that no amount of talking, planning, arguing, or effort can solve, because these are not physical problems. They are spiritual problems. And spiritual problems require spiritual solutions. This is why Allah's words, "Remember me and I will remember you. Be grateful to me and do not be ungrateful," are not simply comforting, they are transformational. When remembrance becomes part of your daily rhythm, Allah begins to fix what you could not fix on your own. Hearts that once rejected peace begin to soften. Minds that were clouded with overthinking become clearer. Relationships that felt irreparable begin to show signs of healing. Not because you changed everything overnight, but because Allah entered the equation, and when He enters, nothing remains the same. You may have tried for months or years to calm your home. You may have tried to improve communication, to bring family closer, to reduce arguments, to restore harmony. Some days it worked, but many days it felt like taking one step forward and two steps back. You felt exhausted, drained, and unsure of what else to do. But the moment you turned back to Allah with sincere remembrance and gratitude, a different type of help descended, a help that does not tire, does not fail, and does not depend on human strength. Allah begins to guide hearts in ways you cannot see. He removes envy, anger, and resentment from places you didn't even know they were hiding. He brings calmness into conversations that used to end in frustration. He places patience where there used to be annoyance. He allows understanding to grow where misunderstanding lived for so long. This is what happens when Allah remembers you. He heals you in ways you didn't know you needed to be healed. My beloved brothers and sisters, many people think that barakah is only material, more money, more time, more success. But one of the greatest forms of barakah is emotional barakah. A peaceful heart, a calm mind, a home that feels safe, and relationships that carry mercy. These are blessings that no amount of wealth can purchase and no amount of planning can secure, because they come only from Allah. There is a special type of barakah that enters a home when people begin to remember Allah together, even in small ways. Sitting for a moment before sleeping, beginning meals with His name, holding back a complaint and replacing it with gratitude, whispering a short prayer before leaving the house. These small actions carry hidden power, because Allah promised that whoever remembers Him, He will remember them in return. And when Allah remembers you, your hardships become lighter, your pain becomes manageable, your challenges become purposeful, and your home becomes a place where His mercy settles gently day after day. You will begin noticing that the tensions which once consumed your thoughts no longer control you. The fear that once weakened your heart is replaced by a calm certainty that Allah is with you. The loneliness that once lingered becomes filled with a sense of divine companionship. This is the kind of transformation no human effort alone can create. It is the miracle of a heart that turns back to Allah. The world teaches us to look outward for solutions, change the environment, change the routine, change the people. But this verse teaches us to look inward first, strengthen your remembrance, strengthen your gratitude, and Allah will strengthen everything else around you. A home that remembers Allah is never truly broken. Even when cracks appear, they are covered with mercy. Even when darkness enters, it does not stay for long. Even when hardships come, they come with purpose and leave with wisdom. Because Allah's presence in a home is not symbolic, it is healing, protective, and transformative. The day your home becomes a place of peace. Again, my beloved brothers and sisters, there comes a day, often without warning, when a person realizes that something inside their home has changed in a way that only Allah could have made possible. It may not be dramatic, it may not be loud, it may not be noticeable to visitors or neighbors, but you feel it. You feel it in the way you wake up with a little more hope. You feel it when you enter your home and your heart no longer tightens the way it used to. You feel it when you sit in silence and the silence feels comforting instead of suffocating. This is the day when you begin to understand what it means for Allah to place barakah where emptiness once lived. This transformation rarely happens all at once. It comes slowly, like dawn breaking after a long and difficult night. At first, the light is faint. You question whether anything is really changing. You wonder if it's just your imagination or a temporary relief. But then, gradually, bit by bit, your heart settles into a new reality. Your home is no longer the same. The burdens that once sat heavily on your chest begin to lift. The worries that used to steal your sleep weaken their grip. The relationships that were strained start feeling easier, softer, more forgiving. You begin to notice that the things which once triggered arguments now pass without conflict. Words are spoken with more care. Listening becomes more sincere. The home feels safer, more gentle, more connected. This is not because people suddenly became perfect, but because Allah's mercy began flowing in ways you could not orchestrate yourself. When He remembers you, He rearranges your life with a wisdom that you only understand later. You also begin noticing changes within yourself. You find that your patience grows in situations where it once collapsed. You find gratitude in moments that used to frustrate you. You start choosing peace over anger, kindness over harshness, and silence over unnecessary conflict. These shifts may seem small, but they are signs that your heart is being guided by the one who created it. When Allah remembers you, He strengthens qualities within you that you could never strengthen on your own. A home filled with remembrance becomes a home that heals its own wounds. Every moment of gratitude carries hidden blessings. Every moment of patience protects the family from unnecessary harm. Every quiet remembrance fills the heart with an invisible tranquility that spreads from room to room. This is why homes that remember Allah feel different. They carry a spiritual warmth that cannot be manufactured with wealth or effort. You may also notice barakah appearing in the most unexpected corners of your life. A task that once took hours begins taking minutes. A problem you worried about for weeks suddenly resolves with ease. An opportunity arrives at the perfect moment. A conversation brings clarity you did not expect. A decision becomes easier to make. These are gentle reminders that Allah has begun opening doors you did not even know existed. And then, my brothers and sisters, there is a deeper form of barakah that enters the home, the barakah of emotional resilience, the barakah of being able to endure hardship with dignity, the barakah of facing difficulties without breaking, the barakah of knowing that Allah is with you even when the world feels heavy. This type of strength is not visible on the outside, but it is felt deeply on the inside. It is the barakah that transforms fear into courage, confusion into clarity, and sadness into hope. For some people, the greatest sign that their home has regained barakah is not that everything becomes perfect, but that they are no longer overwhelmed by imperfection. They accept that life comes with tests, but they face these tests with a renewed heart. They understand that hardship is temporary and that Allah's help is near. They begin to see blessings in places where they used to see burdens. My beloved brothers and sisters, when this transformation occurs, you begin to appreciate the real meaning of barakah. Barakah is not measured by the size of the house, the balance of the bank account, or the number of possessions. Barakah is measured by the depth of peace in your heart, the strength of mercy in your relationships, and the presence of hope in your home. That is true wealth, that is true success, that is true comfort. This is the day when your home becomes a place of tranquility again, a place where the heart rests, a place where the soul feels understood, a place where the remembrance of Allah has become the foundation and gratitude has become the language. And once this happens, emptiness loses its power forever. Because a home that remembers Allah is never truly empty. It is full in ways the world cannot see but the heart cannot deny. My beloved brothers and sisters, as we come to the end of this reminder, I ask you to pause for a moment and truly reflect on what we have learned together. Your home, no matter how empty it may feel today, is not beyond repair. Your heart, no matter how tired it may be right now, is not beyond healing. Your life, no matter how uncertain it seems, is not beyond hope. The one who created barakah has shown you the way back to it through remembrance, through gratitude, and through turning your heart gently and sincerely towards Him. Never underestimate what a single moment of remembrance can do. Never overlook the power of a small act of gratitude. Never forget that Allah can transform your home, your heart, and your entire life. Even if all you can offer right now is a quiet whisper asking Him for help, He hears you, He sees you, He knows your struggles more deeply than anyone else in this world. And He responds in ways that no creation can. May Allah fill your home with peace that settles deeply, not just on the walls, but in the hearts that live within them. May He replace emptiness with warmth, weakness with strength, and worry with serenity. May He make your home a place where mercy flows naturally, where love grows consistently, and where His remembrance becomes a source of comfort for every soul that enters. And may He bless you with barakah in your time, your health, your wealth, your relationships, and your future. May He protect you from all that steals your peace and grant you all that nourishes your soul. May He make your nights peaceful, your days purposeful, and your journey filled with hope. Until we meet again in the next reminder, my beloved brothers and sisters, take care of your hearts, take care of your homes, and never let a day pass without remembering the one who remembers you. May peace, mercy, and blessings surround you always.